The following coverage of the 2024 Premium Cigar Association Trade Show was produced by Tobacco Talk Media. What's going on, everybody? Cigar Show Tim here of Tobacco Talk Media, sitting with the man, the myth, the legend, Ernesto Perez-Carrillo. Brother, thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me.
Well, listen, thank you very much. I've heard a lot about you, and all good things. So good. I'm really proud and honored to be here doing this interview with you.
I appreciate it. So I'm going to go back a few years. I was one of the very few, or if the only one, that when Pledge hit number one, I actually had it as my number one for the year. I put it out before PCA came out, so I will never have that happen again. But I got to say, it was one of those things that I kind of put a feather in my cap and go, hey, that was a good one. So, but you've obviously got a long history in tobacco, in the industry, doing all this stuff. You've got new stuff that you're talking about, Sumatra, which we'll get to in a second. Obviously, you've got new releases, all those different things. What's been the underlying theme or the main highlight for the show this year?
Well, I think the show this year, our regular lines like the Perez-Carrillo, that's been doing great. The acceptance of the Sumatra originally, the plan is to come out with the Sumatra, which has gotten great review. But now we're going to introduce at the show also the Maduro.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing the Sumatra Maduro, and then maybe third quarter or something we'll do the Honduran thing. But the demand has been real good. Good. And I think we got a winner in our hands.
Yeah, and I had the Encore Black and reviewed it back a few weeks ago on my channel. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's just incredible. And people ask me in the comments and send me DMs, and they go, okay, so what do you compare it to? And in my video, I even said, for me, it's if you take like all of the richness of the Pledge and mix it a little bit with the La Historia and the balance of all of it, it's so full-bodied in flavor and depth and richness. It's very good. I would be shocked if you don't land on some list this year.
Well, I'd like to take credit for that, but I think that's not something that I blended. That was something that my son blended with our gentleman down there, Jose Manuel and Mikey. And it came as a surprise to me. They were keeping this thing under so I wouldn't find out about it. And when I tried it in Dominica, the one that they had decided that was going to go, that's the one I picked also as the one that I like the most. They had awesome. 4 blends, I think, 3 or 4 blends.
Yeah, and I mean the band, obviously Encore Black on it. I like how, even though it's got Encore as the name, it's a completely different blend.
It's a completely different blend, right?
Yep.
The Encore, like I've said many times, that's one of my favorite blends that I've ever made. I like that cigar. It just, you give anybody that cigar and they're going to enjoy it.
Yep.
This is more of a, I think the way I see it, if you see the packaging, it's, it's traditional, but it's modern. It's more for I guess the up and coming, but also for those, connoisseurs, I guess you could say.
Absolutely.
That love, flavorful, fuller body cigars. It hits the spot.
Yep.
And it's a matter of fact, I was telling him, this is the line we got to come out with, because I think this is going to be, phenomenal.
Yep.
So maybe that's something, we'll do in the future, because it is a great cigar.
So tell me what it's like now, obviously, with your vast experience blending, doing everything that you've done. What's it like now seeing your son go through that process?
Oh, it's let me tell you, it's a very let's put it this way. My son, my kids are professionals. They're lawyer and finance.
Oh yeah.
And I never, I guess I imagine it, but the how the depth of like my son has gone into with the the sales, the blending of the cigars, wanting to experiment with different tobaccos, and my daughter with the marketing and the new things that we're coming out with.
She's very active.
She's very active.
A ton on social media.
And people they love that. They love that. So to me it's like a dream come true, because now. People always ask me, well, Ernesto, when you're not around, who's going to be? And I think we, with Ernie, we have the person that's going to be able to do that, the blending. We have a great crew in DR. We have Mikey, who's had, tons of years of experience in tobacco. Jose Manuel, who is an up-and-coming, blender.
Yep.
Great palate. I mean, so we're in pretty good shape. And besides that, the good thing is that, over the past years, every blend that, that I've made, everybody has been involved. So,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows we go buy tobacco together. So it's a great experience for us and for me.
You can definitely tell, or you can say it now, that for many, many years to come, the brand is in very good hands.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, I have no doubt, And I think, just we've been in the business now 15 years with a new company.
Yep.
And I think the next, 5 years, because I mean, you got to be realistic.
Sure.
It takes time nowadays to really get into the market, I guess you could say, and be relevant. And I see that now we're very relevant with a lot of the retailers, the people that enjoy our cigars.
Yep. So I'm guessing everybody has just been coming and buying up Encore Black and Sumatra.
Well, Encore Black, unfortunately, Encore Black, I think it's sold out.
Oh, that's right. You guys broke it up in 2,000 boxes at first, and then you're doing 3,000 next?
Correct,
Okay.
yes. The reason for that is, this particular cigar, we've aged almost for a year.
Yes.
So the next batch, it's going to come out probably in the next, I think it's July or August or something like that.
Okay. And you guys have had that tobacco with your name on it for quite some time, because obviously with the fermenting and the aging process for the wrapper and all of that.
Yes, every tobacco that we use, it's minimum 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Then we do a fermentation. So I mean, we're coming out with a cigar now, the 15th year, which the wrapper is going to be 15-year-old.
Wow.
It's the first wrapper I used in 2009.
Really?
Yes, and it's a great story.
I bet.
I don't know if we have time to
Absolutely,
tell
go
it.
for it.
But when I started in 2009, I really didn't have that much tobacco to start with. I mean, so I was down in Nicaragua, and I was with a friend of mine, David Perez of ASP, and I said, David, we're going to come out with a cigar, and I want something that's special. And at that time, nobody had tobacco. I mean, one of the guys that helped me tremendously was Gilberto Oliva.
Yeah.
I mean, tobacco.
Oliva's got great tobacco.
Yes.
And for those that don't know.
But I mean the former family.
Okay.
The former Gilberto.
Because what people mistake sometimes, they go, oh, Oliva, so it's Oliva Cigars. Oliva tobacco is completely separate.
Yeah. Well, there's Oliva tobacco, there was Gilberto Oliva, and now there's Oliva, the cigar company.
Right.
But at that time, he had some wrapper, some Jalapa wrapper that was 5 years old. So, I got some of that. I got some of the tobaccos from him.
Jalapa.
Yeah. And this wrapper, they were, I want to say 24, 30 bales, whatever. And there was a special seed called the 154, which never came out.
Oh.
Never came out. There was an experimental tobacco. And so I got that tobacco. And I went through to the bales, and there was more of the lighter colors, more of the Connecticut shade colors than the darker colors. So I said, let's start with this. And I think the first, that first production was, I don't remember, 175,000, 200,000, whatever.
Okay.
And then, so we used that. And then about a year ago, we started thinking about the 15th years. And I'm walking through we have like a room where we keep all the binders and wrappers. And then we have another warehouse where we keep the fillers. And we start talking about the tobacco. And I said, let's open up a box. So we open up a box, and this beautiful, dark. I said, wait, this isn't the same wrapper that I remember. And it was.
Wow.
So we had, so I said, well, let's make some samples. And man, we never fermented the wrapper. The wrapper was in that box for 15 years.
Wow.
And it just smoked beautiful.
I bet.
Smoked beautiful.
Very
so
cool.
that's what we're going to be, October, we're going to be introducing that 15th year cigar.
I look forward to that.
For our anniversary.
Very cool.
So.
Ooh, looking forward to it.
Yes.
So I got to ask, of everything that's in your portfolio, because you've got obviously the New Wave Connecticut and all the way to the Pledge and Encore Black and all of that, Which one of your line do you find yourself smoking the most?
Like I say, for my everyday smoke, I would say, excuse me, probably the Encore.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to understand, I'm always doing, and
One thing. Thank you.
making.
It happens.
What can I tell you, bro? Anyway, no, he's a friend from many years. So,
Oh, no worries.
yeah. So anyway, but I'm always trying, because remember, we make cigars for ourselves. We also make
Absolutely.
cigars for the Crown Heads, for
Right.
Ossinger. Now we're making one for Rick Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
So we're making. So I'm constantly trying blends, because it really takes a while to get a blend together.
I bet.
Sometimes you try to do it in a couple of months, and it's risky. So I like to take at least 4 months, 6 months to get a blend together before we put it out there.
Yeah, because I remember last year PCA, I sat and talked with John Huber, and he was telling me the backstory on one of the cigars that you had done for him, and how he thought it was, locked in, ready to go, and how you called him and you were like, no, it's not right. We need to do something different, and how things changed. And he was like, I thought we were good. He goes, but it got even better. And that's what the industry appreciates about what you guys put out, is you wait until it's done right.
You have to.
Yes.
You can't, if you want to be successful in this industry, you have to take your time to do things the way they should be done.
Yep.
And it takes time with tobacco. So,
Yeah, you're not in control of the process.
no, it's all about how long you wanna aging the tobacco is very important. The tobacco itself, the fermentation.
Yep.
The cigars after it's made. The whole process takes time.
Now, how long, like for Encore Black, how long did you have them resting before you brought them out?
The first batch, I believe it was over. It was close to a year.
Okay.
Close to a year, I think it was.
Good.
Like I said, I didn't have too much to do. I found out
Sure.
about.
Surprise, Dad. Here you go.
Yeah, I tried. Well, shit, what's happening here? How do you say that? A mutiny on the.
Mutiny on the ship.
Yeah. But it
that's
came out
funny.
great. So I'm very
Yes.
proud that they did that.
As you should be.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time, Ernesto.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't know if you remember, I'm going to go back a few years again. So Brandon and I were doing a live show, and it was back when Pledge released back in 2020. And we were doing a live show, and we had you on, and that was when you got to talk about the Pledge
Right.
and all of it. From that point when I had my first exposure to you all the way through now, and obviously, we've got Brandon's one of your brokers, and loves the brand, of course, loves you guys. But it's cool to see just what you guys have done, and I just can't wait to see what continues to come out next. I mean, Allegiance was absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
And it's just one after another after another.
Well, that's the thing that I want to do, going forward. Besides making cigars in our factory, I want to start, working with other, other manufacturers out there.
And the Allegiance does have, if you know Oliva well enough, you can tell that there's an Oliva influence in that matches up with your traditional.
Well, you have,
influence.
you have basically other tobacco.
Yeah.
So I mean, they have great tobacco. I mean, the inventory that you can basically, they have that you work with. Good aged tobacco. You know, and that's what I'm looking for. So I'm looking for doing that, in the future with other manufacturers, and it's exciting. We also have, I'm sure you know, the Ancient Nicaragua, which we made with Plasencia.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's been a huge success.
Yes, absolutely.
It's funny because that cigar, not only here but also in Europe and in Asia, it's we're getting very nice orders for this.
Very cool.
So
International market loves it too.
yes.
Now, talk on Asia for just a minute, because obviously they have in Europe, they've got access to basically anything from Cubans to New World to everything. Are they traditionally that large of a ring gauge cigar consumer, or did this just be something that they just jumped onto?
Yeah. It's I don't think they're, but I think the United States right now is the, how do you say, the influencer.
Okay.
So what people smoke here, now you see in Asia, the Middle East, we just got a customer here from Africa yesterday, Mozambique,
Nice.
who's going to, you know, carry our lines.
Very cool.
China. So I think, you know, the manufacturers, you know, Dominican, Nicaragua, Honduran, the influence that our cigars are having is spreading worldwide.
Having a ripple effect.
Oh yes, yes. I see that, and I see, you know, I see the industry growing not only here in the States but also internationally.
Very cool.
So,
Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know you're busy.
thank you very much.
But
Thank
thank
you
you
for coming
so
by.
much for taking the time, Ernesto.
great. We'll do this again.
Absolutely, we'll do.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, from PCA 2024 with Ernesto Perez-Carrillo, I'm Cigar Show Tim. We will catch you later. I've got more content coming your way.